Alright guys, welcome to another episode of Country Living. Hope you guys have enjoyed it so far, and if you made it this far, congratulations. Thank you very much, and we appreciate the support. Today I specifically want to touch on the farm, our plans for it possibly a little bit, and where we want to take it. So right now, here I am on top of the spur. This is the avocado garden, and this is our top farm. You can see here in the background, I've got these avocados. Let me just have a look here. So up here we've got 120 avocados planted. They've been planted about 2 years ago, a year and a half. We planted them right in the middle of a drought, so we've lost a fair few of them. We intend to plant them back in again when we get a chance with this beautiful weather. Probably this spring we may even do that. You can see in the background there, stunning landscape of the Great Dividing Range. That's Mountain Castle, and then around behind them clouds is the Great Dividing Range, and that is Cunningham's Gap. And here we are in the other end of the mountain. So I was just right down the back there before, and this is where we have opened up a couple of square meters. Maybe it's 30 meters long, 32 meters long I believe it is, by about the same width. So that's about 900 and something. There you have it. And up here you'll see it's very, very different soil to what we have down the bottom. Let me just see if I can focus in there. It's much more red. It's much more sandy, and the beauty of being up on top of this mountain here is there's much less frost. So we are in the subtropics, so we do get frost, but it's very minimal. And them years, it's particularly on the dry years that we get the majority of our frost, because there's no clouds to cover that cold air from coming down. So we'll get that frost and set. And I remember when we planted avocados other place about 6 years ago, we got a -6. And that basically bowled half of our fruit trees, half our avocados and everything. They were freshly planted, but it didn't, and the veggie garden got smashed as well. So up on top here, because up off them lowlands, we can avoid most of the frost, and that's happened this year. We've already had 4 or 5 frosts, and we've been knocked a little bit. I'll just show you here, the zucchinis. So we're right in the middle of winter here, and the zucchinis are still alive. If this was down the bottom, they would be completely cactus by now. You can see they've even started to thrive up this end of things, simply because the frost hasn't set up here. So that's a really good moat that we have on this property here for our farm, is that we can produce crops that the locals can't produce in this area. You'd have to be way further north to be able to produce, and then you get the transport. So this time of the year, zucchinis are at a premium, and if we can grow them, they're worth that extra effort. So we're going to plant more of them sort of things, and you'll see here we have got, these are eggplants, these ones here, capsicums, them things there, and then we got tomatoes. Now we grow 3 varieties of tomatoes, depending where you're from as to whether they'll call them the same or whether you can get them. But we've got our Thunder F1s, which are a hybrid tomato, down here. They're a big round tomato. That one's dead, but you can see it here probably a little bit better. Let me have a look. Then we've got a Sangicola, which are them ones on the back side there, and the Romas here, which we've got bigger ones on this end. So they're your Thunders. They're a nice flavoured tomato, but they're probably not as nice, well, they're definitely not as nice as Sangicola. So these are the Sangicola here. They're a really nice tomato, really, really flavoursome. You can see we're starting to get splitting here because it's been dry. And then all of a sudden, we've got that stack of rain that we had. Let me see if I can focus in on that. And it's splitting the tomato open. So, yeah, it's a bit of a killer, but it is what it is. So these are Sangicola. These here are a really premium tomato. So just for context, we get $8 a kilo for our Thunder F1s. which is fairly common. Like they're a tasty tomato. They're just big around. Whereas for these Sangicolas, we sell them for $22 a kilo. So they're heaps less meat in them. You know, there's not as much per kilo per bush, but we sell everything we can grow of the Sangicolas. Pretty well all our tomatoes is like that. And then the Romas. Sorry, we got 4 varieties. I lied to you. We have got 4 varieties. So these here are a RAF. These are an heirloom variety. You can see here, they're really big. Oh, here's a really nice specimen. Look at that. For comparison of my hand, really big tomato. I don't think the flavor's there. They're a lot softer. They're hard to keep. You can see they get rotten out by a bit of water sitting on them. I don't personally think I would pursue them. We had the seeds here, so we put in, I don't know, 20 or 30 plants just to have them. They always sell out, but they're just not worth it for the space they take up. And then the Romas are down here. So I really like the Romas. I believe that they've got a better taste than the Thunder. They still produce really well. They're a nice size for a sandwich or whatever you're putting them on. And yeah. And so this is the top paddock up here. The top field. I'm not sure what we call this, the avocado grove or something. Haven't thought of a name. If you've got a good name for up here, yeah, leave it in the comments section and we'll definitely take it into consideration. But this here, we'll probably need to put a greenhouse up here eventually. But until we can do that, you know, we have to, and this for every farmer, you know, well, not every farmer, but most of us farmers, we have a limit of a budget and we have to basically work with what we can. And for me, I couldn't afford a greenhouse, so we put the stuff up here, and like they've been going really well since the floods. Like the soil drains really well down up here compared to down the bottom. All the tomatoes died. They were going really good in the frost, but then we got this massive windstorm, and the winds just come up over here. It was 3 days. I think our peak was 55, 60 kilometers an hour, so it was really, really full on wind, and it just come up over this mountain here and just flew through and just tore everything apart, and that's why you can see them dead tomatoes there. So yeah, this is the top garden. Anyway, we'll head down and I'll show you the rest. Next place we'll head to is the Hidden Valley, and this will be our campgrounds where we're going to start accepting people to be able to do some camping here. Here we are in the campground. So down here, this is right on the corner of our property, down closest to the river. So it's similar to the exact same river. So this is the Bremer River, the headwaters of the Bremer River. Then we've got 4 farms above us. So it's really, really clear. The water here, really pure. We drink the stuff. I mean, you know, drink anything when you're thirsty, but no, it is nice water. So we've got about 1.5 acres here. Yeah, just over 1.5 acres, and you've got a little bit of high stuff up here where the deposited. This is all alluvial land down here, so it's a high deposit up here, and then a low deposit right next to the river here. It is a little bit rough. A lot of this land, most of this land that we've cleared, has been really overrun by lantana and just weeds and pests. So a lot of the clearing we've been doing is just taking out that and the dead stuff. You can see down here, there's a massive drop off just behind me. The water's come through and eroded from that tree falling over down there. It's pushed the river this way, and it's eroded like a little cove out in here. So I want to get in here with the excavator and get that tree out of the way so I don't keep eroding, and just clean that back up. So this will be a nice swimming hole in summer. The water's all dirty now because of all the rain that we've had, but another 2 or 3 days, maybe a week, it'll be crystal clear again. You see all these beautiful river rocks here, and this is where we'll do the campground. So it goes way down here, and we'll keep clearing this up, all the lantana and grass and all the weeds around here. But once it's all cleared up, you know, we should hope to have at least here maybe 20 campers on a weekend, 20 campers or so. So you know, that'll be another nice little diversification of income, which I think is important with having small farms, to have a couple of different revenues of income if we can. So let's head to the next place. So for all you guys into beekeeping, we've also got bees. We've got 3 hive boxes here. The 4th one has died on me, unfortunately. But we've got these 2 producing ones here. Well, one's really producing. That one there, every time I open her up, I'm like, damn, you girls are beautiful. But they produce like it's going out of fashion. I harvested it 3 times. I split it twice this year and harvested the honey 3 times, and it was still full when winter started. I'll show you in the back of here. This is a flow hive. So you can see in there all them beautiful girls. This here is the main centre garden piece. So right here we've got the farm itself. We've got in its first bed asparagus. That's obviously winter time, so we've pruned all them off and we've mulched them again. We've got our long-term beds here. This is where the tomatoes were, they just died out. We've got a little bit of kale in there. We've got some more kale going in. Just having really some problems germinating kale lately. I think the seed's old. Our Swiss chard, we've just found these crops that are more long-term are best to have in plastic. They're getting a really beautiful colour to them now. Just starting to come along. We've got beetroot and carrots companion planted there. We've got baby beets, which we have for our salad mix. And then down the end there we've got Mizuna, the next plantation Mizuna come along. We've got our Salanova lettuces here, broccoli, cabbage, coriander and parsley. This is a bed we've just prepped. It's our old broccoli thing, our old broccoli bed, sorry. And we will go over that once it dries up a bit to finish forming the bed. Here we've got some cauliflowers. You can see we've already been harvesting these for a couple of weeks, and there's just the last of these left here. Here we have bok choy and watermelon radish. In this bed, this is our old okra from the summer. We're probably due to flower mow that and turn them beds over. Here's the coriander ready to harvest. Some cabbage coming along. These are our next lot of Salanova lettuce after them ones there are finished back here. Looks like they've had a couple of spare from that paper pot and put them here. I'm not sure what happened there. Cauliflower and Asian cabbage. We've got more bok choy, more Asian cabbage. Next cabbage, next Salanova, cabbage, and bok choy and onions. On this side here, we had this whole section here tarped over summertime, so it's the most weed-free section. This is where we try and get our salad mixes. So you can see here we've got a really nice planting of baby spinach. Our next succession of Salanova looks like it's a bit wonky down the end. Radish, beetroot, baby spinach, and you can see down there we've got some old beetroot and Mizuna. Here we've got another plantation of lettuce. This is all our winter garlic. So you can see we've got a stack of that in there. It's funny, it comes up a bit patchy. We only do Russian garlic. This is rapini, a baby broccoli, onions. We tried corn salad this year, or corn mache, or lamb's lettuce, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's easy enough to grow. The biggest problem is harvesting it, so I'd love to try and spend more time on that. There's the next planting of cabbage and Salanova, Asian and broccoli, a little bit of leeks and onions on here, and then we've got some more coriander, lettuce and broccoli. This bed here was really bad. We had to wash out when we transplanted them, so they had all pretty well died. And then we've got some more broccoli coming on here. So that is the main part of the garden, as you can see there. Down the very end we've got rotary hoed some patches to plant into. We don't typically rotary hoe here. Our favourite tool is a power harrow. When we're breaking new ground, as we rotary hoe it the first time, and then we'll broad fork it and then power harrow it, well, form it power harrow and bed form. But we'll do another video on how we do bed prep. Not sure when, but we'll do one. And then right down the very back, so it's about 3 acres of cultivatable land here. We've got where we want to plant our wheat. Now on this property, when we bought it, it's really good soil structure. Let me just, I'll see if I can get a bit of dirt for you to have a look at. Here's a bit of dirt here. Now, you might think this is pretty boring if you're not a farmer, but if you're a farmer, I'm sure you think this is exciting. It's a fairly sandy, loamy stuff. If it gets wet like it is now, it still breaks apart fairly good. So that's a real blessing. The problem with this soil is it's really, really low in nitrogen and really, really low in phosphorus. Potassium. It is low in phosphorus, but not really low. Because even with this moist, it still breaks apart fairly well. So it's got an organic content of 5%. So really, really high organic content in the soil, which is really good. Yeah, okay, so as I was saying, the soil is really low in nitrogen and potassium, which is, you know, the basic building blocks for all agriculture. And because of that, we've been planting Lab in here because it's a legume and it's invasive. Now the frost has hit it and it's pretty much killed it all off, as you can see here, which is a real blessing because we are hoping to plant wheat in here next couple of weeks. We're just going to crimp it, roll it, and just plant wheat straight into it. So the Lab has done two things. It's killed off a lot of the grass just by smothering it out, and it's fixed a lot of nitrogen to the soil. So you can see on the whole of the field, it didn't do really well on everything, but on a lot of it, it's just really taken over. All right, so what our plan is in this area where I'm standing right now, you see it's open at the front here. Big open space. This is for the people to come in. So as people come in down here, yeah, there it is there, the entrance. They come in, park up over the side here, and then you can come in here, and this is where we give out the baskets or whatever people need to be able to pick veggies. So we're mainly into tourism here, obviously growing veggies, but we want to teach people, educate people. That's why we do this channel on how to be able to do it themselves. So you know, we get a lot of veggie gardeners from the city come out here who are into this sort of stuff, and they just want to buy some good quality veggies, but they obviously don't grow enough, so they come out. So, you know, it's education. So out here, when we finish this wall will be completely closed through, and we'll have just a big bifold window in the middle here. We've already bought the window, it's just a matter of time, and we will do that. So people can come here, they'll pick up their stuff and go and pick their veggies, they'll check out here. Then if we can get like buses of schools and stuff out here, or whatever we're going to do, whatever we can get, we're still open to what we're doing with this. This area here will be our commercial kitchen and is our washing packing area. So you can see that stainless bench there. So we currently actually use that for seating as well, but that's all migrating as we speak. So we're doing our washing and packing here. So that's a spinner for the salad mix. Our bubblers over here in the bathtub, pretty simple setup, and then we'll have bifold doors the whole way strung across the top here, and that will close this whole lot off. That's the bifold doors just there. Pretty well, everything we get here is second hand except for the roofing, because if your roof leaks, the whole integrity of the place is compromised. So we spent, got brand new roofing, but apart from that, everything else is, and steel's new, sorry, everything else is second hand. So really economical. This whole setup, which is just under 400 square meters, it cost us about $40,000 as it stands right now. That includes concrete, walls and roof. I want to do another video on best construction methods, because I know a lot of people are into containers, into greenhouses and this and that and other. My first 15-18 years of life was in construction, so I know a little bit about that sort of stuff. So I may have something to bring to the party there. Anyway, that's a side note. Here we've got our nursery. So mainly we've got our paper pots here. These are all seedlings that need to go out. As you can see, the successions in the ground out in the field. We've got the successions in the paper pots from over here. These ones here are ready to plant out, that's why they're on the tray. We've got the Salanova and the lettuce and stuff. To way back here, we've got the onions just poking out of the soil mix right there. So yeah, this here is on the automatic irrigation as well. Everything gets irrigated up here and it goes back down through that drain and goes back down out of the way. Over on this side we've got a couple of trees we want to plant out. We've got blueberries. You can see they're just starting to flower. Let me see if I can. They're just, yeah, anyway. They're just starting to flower. And there's got bananas there, they got frosted. As you can see, we want to put them up on top. And a couple of citrus. On this wall here, we've got our old irrigation. So when we pull the irrigation out and change it, we just hang it up there. Star pickers and stuff on there. Coming into the tool shed here. This is our tool shed. So this is where we've got everything set up. So this here is our seedling raising mix. We use Searles, it just works for us. We'll do our paper pot stuff either here or over here, depending. Up here we've got all our racking for our tools and electrical supplies and hand tools, you know, all the maintenance jobs you need around the farm. These here are all our chemicals and stuff. The two main poisons we use are copper sulfate in that blue drum, and sorry, they're fertilizers, them next couple, sea salt and different things, and pyrethrum or Pygenic is a brand that we use, and they're just mainly one's a fungicide, and that's for killing off obviously funguses, and then the other one's your Pygenic. It's mainly for killing off your bugs. We don't use much of either of them now in winter, except actually we have been using the copper sulfate because we've had so much rain. The fungus even in winter is still rampant, so we have been using that. But typically in winter, dry cold winters, we don't need to use anything. It's only summertime that we need to use that sort of stuff. And up on here we've got our tools. So for any guys out there, I saw our viewer rating the other day, and we've got a 99% male audience. So I'm sure you guys like this sort of stuff. We've got our old wheel hoe here. I think we're bringing out a new wheel hoe soon, so that'll probably go. Our Elia 3000. Paper pot planter, the Yang seed, our bee suit. This is our Incineroar multi. That there is a little secret. Don't worry about that at all. We've got our Cyber Clydesdale here. John Deere 3320. Our compost spreader there. The BCS with the automatic broad fork on the back there. Now you may be asking, why is this missing its battery? Yeah, well, it so has it that the batteries that we use for the Clydesdale are the exact same batteries that we use to run this whole place. So they sit in that rack like that, and when you want one, you just grab it by the handle here and pull it out, unplug it, pull it out, and you plug it into your machine, and then go and do what you gotta do. When you're done, you come back, plug it in, and that'll quick charge. That will actually rapidly charge your battery. So it will it depends what sort of sunlight we got, but if it's a sunny day or whatever and the batteries are full, it'll fully charge one of them batteries in under an hour. About 45 minutes it'll charge a full battery. Now that's massive charging capacity. The leads obviously get warm doing that, but you know, that's for our setup here, so we can just flick them over and keep going if we need to. How often do we do it? Never. Yeah, no, just is night time. We chuck them in here so they're full. Next day, back out again. Because we don't have the solar panel on this Clydesdale. We have it on the handy though. And then, yeah, this is our inverter. So you can see we've got a 15 kilowatt Victron inverter here. So that's massive for what we need here. I don't think we'll ever have to upgrade that. It's probably a little bit overkill, but I always thought it's better to have more than you need now than having to upgrade later. And you've got the two charge controllers there. And there's 10 kilowatts of solar panels on the roof, so that controls a whole lot. The only reason we'll upgrade will be if we go 3-phase for the ovens and cooktops and stuff in the commercial kitchen, if we do go that way. And then we'll just stack another 1-2 beside it on that wall and connect them up, and then we've got 3-phase. So yeah, so this is Elia's garden, guys. I'll take you back out here so you've got a nice view of the place. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, or two things actually, now you mentioned it. We compost down there, so that's our chicken manure right down that side down there. So we'll get our chicken manure. There's a local chicken farm, and we get our chicken manure for $10 a cubic meter, so it's really, really cheap. I'm not a big fan of it. Like, I'm not a big fan of it because of the hormones and stuff they put in their chickens. But we let it cure for over a year, so it's really, really, really well broken down. Usually the amino acids and the hormones break down in that complex in that time, you know, that it has to break down. So that's the only exception for that. Typically we don't usually like to use them sort of inputs. And the one other thing is we've got citrus right around the boundary. You can see right down the back there the whole way, and there's another stack of citrus over here. So there's 200 citrus approximately, predominantly oranges, and we've got mandarins and kumquats and a couple of different things. So anyway guys, thanks for watching us again. I hope you like Elliott Garden. If you are local or if you ever come by all means drop in. We have open days first Sunday of every month, so that was the one gone. And we also have, if you want to give us a call and come over, we'll see if we can arrange something with you. But yeah, most of all, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. It means a lot to us. This is our 4th week, so we're pumping. I didn't know I'd ever make it this far, but this is great, and I hope to keep going with this content. Let us know if there's anything you'd like to cover, and thank you very much for watching.